Yo, live and direct, man, the dopest channel on YouTube, man. You understand? It just keeps getting better and better and better. It ain't really much for me to say. Yo, Kane, what up?
I'm good, man. Good.
Number one, man, thank you for letting me get this interview.
Oh, no, my pleasure, man. My pleasure.
Appreciate you. Allergies bothering you a little bit?
Yeah, it's that time, you know.
Okay. Now, Kane, 1968, you born.
Yeah.
Where you born at?
Born in Brooklyn.
What hospital?
I think it's Cumberland Hospital. I don't think it exists anymore. It's Cumberland Hospital.
Okay. All public schools, elementary school, junior high, all that in Brooklyn?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my whole education was in Brooklyn.
Where you went to elementary school at?
I went to elementary at 287 by Farragut.
Okay. Middle school?
Junior high, I went to 117 in the 7th grade and 258 in the 8th grade.
And what about high school?
High school, 9th grade was in Park West. Oh no, Manhattan for 9th grade, Park West, and then 10th to 12th was Sarah J. Hill.
So you was living in Brooklyn and commuted to high school in Manhattan?
Yeah.
Okay. What section of Brooklyn you grew up in?
I grew up in Bed-Stuy.
But they didn't change the name. That was called Bedford Heights.
It's Bed-Stuy for life. They can change whatever the hell they want to change. It's Bed-Stuy forever.
Do it, stop, Bed-Stuy. Do it, die, Bed-Stuy.
Yeah.
Now, Kane, check it out. I watched a little bit of the hip hop honors. You were honored on there. You grew up in a 2-parent household?
You mean like mother and father?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What was some of your musical influences? What was the music you heard growing up?
Well, growing up, like my mom, she listened to a lot of Isley Brothers, Marvin Gaye, Teddy Pendergrass, Kool and the Gang. You know, she had a large variety of music. My pops, he was mainly just Al Green and Johnny Taylor.
Okay. So that's what you heard coming off the record. At that time, was a record player or 8-track?
Yeah. My pops, like in the car, my pops had the 8-track. But in the house, my mom would play her albums while she cleaned it. You know, she'd throw her albums on while she cleaned up the house. Okay.
Now, your background, are your parents from the South? Are they from the islands? Or?
My mother was born in Brooklyn, but her mother is from South Carolina, and my pops is from South Carolina.
Okay. What part of South Carolina?
My pops is from Bowman.
Okay. Yeah, my people from Bennettsville. Okay. Shout out to South Carolina. Now, Kane, have you always been artistic? Were you always interested in the arts, or what was your grades like? Math, science, was school your thing?
Oh yeah, I mean, I did real good in school. I think in English, I believe I had like a 98 average, and it was like in the low 90s in math and science as well. Social studies was pretty much the only thing I really struggled with, and I think that was by choice. I just wasn't really that concerned,
So reading and writing in words, that was never a problem for you?
Nah, that was never a problem. Yeah, that was never a problem.
Okay. Now, I'm born in 69, you born in 68, so we come up around this same era. Who was some of when you first get introduced to hip hop, what do you hear first, and then what does it do to you?
I think the first thing I heard was I honestly don't know who these dudes were, but I believe it was a Master D party in Brooklyn, and seeing cats line up when he threw on "Love Is the Message" to rhyme. I'm assuming it was Keefy B and the Choice MCs, but I'm not exactly sure, because I was only like 9 years old. But that was the first time I actually saw like hip hop, in that form, where someone's outside playing music and an MC get on the mic and rhyme.
And you at that point, we hearing it on the radio, Mr. Mac.
No. This is '77. It wasn't on the radio. This is '77. This was like, you wasn't really hearing it. this was like my, especially in Brooklyn, you know what I mean? You had, Bronx cats that was, doing their thing with Hurricane Bambaataa and flashing them, from earlier on. But in Brooklyn, you wasn't really hearing it like that,
Now.
And then again, I was 9. So
9 years old.
Someone older may have heard it in Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? But I was only 9, you know what I mean?
Okay. You played sports growing up?
Nah, at one point in time, I wanted to play basketball, but then when I got to Sarah J, there was this Puerto Rican kid that was so damn nice. I just was like, yeah, I can't do what he do. This ain't for me, Yeah.
All right. So now, when do you really start to take an interest in this hip hop thing? I know Grandmaster Caz, and I met you up at Grand. Shout out to Grandmaster Caz, man. That's where I met Kane at. I know Grandmaster Caz was real influential in your life.
Oh yeah. Like I had an older cousin named Murdoch that got into hip hop. I think around maybe 81 or something like that, and so because he was doing it, he was like the cousin I looked up to. His name was Murdoch. Well, his name is still Murdoch. I got into it because of him, and I started messing with it, and then a little while later, a friend of mine played a Cold Crush tape for me, and I heard Kaz, and then that's when I really took it serious, after hearing Kaz.
You start writing?
Yeah, well, I was writing from the beginning. I just felt like after listening to Kaz, I started writing a whole lot better. Like I had a much better understanding because I'm listening to this dude, like, yo, this dude is phenomenal. And if I don't sound half as good as him, I'll never make it,
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you was a battle. You was a battle MC. You used to battle.
Oh yeah. That's how I started off as a battle rapper because my older cousin, he was rhyming with these other 2 dudes from around the way, and they were like older than me, so they was looking at me like, nah, you too young. So I figured like if I could write some rhymes and beat the other 2 dudes that's down with him, he'll put me down with his crew. So I started off as a battle MC for that main reason.
Okay. Now, in your earlier music, when you was the mathematics, the 5% thing, you was kind of heavy in that, the knowledge of self. That was really woven into your rhymes when you first took off. When did you get introduced to that? Were you a 5%er or was you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I believe that I was introduced. I want to say 81, 82, somewhere around there.
In Divine Force, I know you used to constantly shout out Divine Force, Sir Abu and all them, Melquan.
Yeah, Abu, Supreme, Nefertiti.
Shabazz.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well Melquan Shabazz was their manager at the time, yeah. But I mean, the group members was Abu, Supreme, and Nefertiti. Yeah, those were my people. We used to sit around lots of times, just sit on the steps and talk about different flavored ballies. Like, I just copped the yellow ballies, and I just copped the pink ones, stuff like that. Yeah.
So Kane, now with this knowledge of self and knowing who you are, when you came in the game and during that era, man, knowing who you were and where you came from was important, man. You got a lot of that from the 5% Nation and your teachings, the first 120 and all that?
Yeah, I mean, you just said it, knowing who you are, so I mean, when you're studying your lessons, you're learning your history and, your rightful place in history, and things of that nature. So that was something that was very informative and helped to mold and shape me as a better person, I believe. And it also was a way where I could use what I learned to build with other people, like my listeners, my fan base.
Mm-hmm. Okay, how important, man? Because a lot of times today, man, these younger kids, you know, a lot of them struggle with self-confidence issues, man, and self-esteem, and you know, how important is that? And you spoke a lot about that, man, when you was coming up through the ranks. That whole era was really speaking about that. How important is it for this younger generation, kids your son's age, my son's age, to have self-esteem, man, and really believe in who they are?
I think that is very, very important because we deal with a younger generation that feels very entitled. You know, like they're just supposed to have this, or it's just going to come that easy. You know, and they're not really ready or prepared to put that work in, that groundwork in. You know. And I think that, you know, that affects them because, you know, things don't happen for them fast enough, and it discourages them. And you know, if they don't have that strong will or that fighter instinct, you know, it can, it can make, you know, the weak, you know, it can make them suicidal and things of that nature. You know, so I mean, I think it's the type of thing where the younger generation, you know, they really need to understand their history and the stuff that their parents and ancestors went through, the struggles they had.
Check them out, y'all.
Struggles they had to go through to get to, you know, where they, you know, to the level that they got to. And the level that a lot of their ancestors got to is nowhere near the level that this younger generation is getting now. You know, but it's like, you know, you have to be aware of, you know, that blueprint and the design that, you know, that you have to walk to really get there to achieve that. You know, I mean, a lot of people think that things are just given to you for free, but I mean, it's like, you got to understand, it's like, what you trying to achieve, okay? Let's just say, you know, for some reason that you do achieve it, how do you keep it? How do you maintain it? You know, things of that nature. You know, you just going, you have this success and you're just going to wild out and then wake up tomorrow and it's gone.
Check them out, y'all.
You know, or you gonna, you know,
preserve it.
Yeah.
Now, Kane, did you just say that this younger generation is not gonna reach the heights of the ancestors?
No, I did not say nothing like that.
Okay.
I did not say nothing like that.
Okay.
I just said that, you know, they need to study their ancestors.
Okay. Now, you talked about the groundwork.
Yeah.
What was some of the groundwork that Kane did before Kane got on strong? What was some of the groundwork, the failures, the setbacks? Because like you said, everybody think they supposed to do something on Tuesday and get the results that Friday. And if it don't come that Friday, they quit. What was some of your groundwork, man? The walls you ran into, the setbacks and failures, man?
Well, I mean, you know, me trying to come up and get into the music business, I can think of a few labels that I sent demos to, never got responses. One particular label, I actually sat down and met with them, and you know, they turned me down. I remember actually having a record deal through a production deal with someone else and recording, and then the next thing you know, someone else on the label blew up, and they ended up, you know, dropping the person that I had the production deal with, you know, and that was gone. So it was a whole lot of struggles trying to get on, a lot of disappointment, but I didn't let it break me. I kept on going, I kept trying until, you know, eventually when I got with Markie, and, you know, he made it happen, you know. But even with that, you know, before recording my own music, I had to go out on the road with Biz. I'm out coming in the middle of his show, performing.
No money, Kane?
You know, I mean, Biz was giving me something like $50. He was looking out.
But just giving you exposure and eyeballs and ears to hear.
But he didn't have to do that because, I mean, you know, I wasn't on the record. This was just him just looking out for a friend. So, you know, he would give me like maybe like $50 a show, you know what I mean? You know, but I was getting the exposure and I was learning how to perform on stage, you know, and things of that nature. And then, you know, of course, you know, I had to, you know, help him, you know, write his first album. So, I mean, there was a lot of work that I was doing, you know, and just getting on and trying to, establish a relationship with Marley so that I could record there and things of that nature, it was a lot, and that is at that point where I'm semi-on, but there was still a lot of groundwork,
Now, Kane, you meet Biz and introduces you to Marley?
Yeah, Biz introduced me to Marley.
And was it Marley and because Mr. Magic was alive at that time too, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got down with the Juice Crew.
Yeah.
That was what year was that?
When I got down, honestly, I would say that the year that I really got down with them was 87, but I was there rolling with Biz since 86.
Just doing the shows like what you just said? Okay.
He dropped Make the Music in 86. He asked me to come on the road with him, and I was there. And Shantae, I met Shantae, Shan, Marley, Magic, all the Fly Tie.
When did they say like, yo, when did Kane's turn come? After you touring with Biz, you doing all this, you writing in the background. When did it say like, yo, we finna put, yo, Kane, is you now?
Yeah, after being on the road with Biz and stuff, it got to a point where Fly Tie said that we want to record something on you. And we went in the studio and we tried something out, a song called Something Funky, but Biz was there. Me and Biz just did a rhyme afterwards, and that ended up being better than the original song.
The rhyming with Biz?
Yeah, just rhyming with Biz. It's the same beat from the song Something Funky, but that freestyle ended up actually being the one that everybody took to because Biz was on it.
That was a freestyle?
Yeah, that was what everybody took to, as opposed to the actual song Something Funky.
Now, Kane, you are still relevant. You're still relevant, and a lot of the dudes from your era are not, right? How did Big Daddy Kane maintain his relevance? You got tour dates, you moving around, you here, you there, and talk to us about how important it is to remain relevant.
Well, I mean, first I'm not going to say that the other dudes from my era are not relevant because, to me, they're relevant.
Check them out, y'all.
I still ride around, blasting Ultramagnetic, Finesse and Synquist, Audio 2, all that, So, I mean, people that touched my heart and inspired me, they're still relevant to me, man. But, I mean, with me, I just try to, really stay on top of my game because there's things that I did in 1987, 1988 that were groundbreaking, new, innovative, but that was 1987, 1988. Since then, there's been a whole lot of younger cats that came along and did different things that was new, innovative. So, you have to really keep up with the times and pay attention to where people are, sound-wise, sonically, even like, emotionally, and definitely conversation-wise, like what, people are talking about. So, I mean, I just think that, staying in the right circles and staying up to date is, I just think just very important. But that's my formula. Whatever works for someone else, that's them. For me, I try to stay in the right circles and pay attention to what's going on today because the world changes. Everything shifts and changes in different directions, and I don't want to be stuck in my old ways, wondering what's going wrong, and the problem is actually me.
Check them out, y'all. Kane, a couple more questions, man, then I'm gonna cut you loose. Talk to the younger artists today about the ups and downs and the vicissitudes of the rap game, the rock game, the country game, whatever music you in. You hot 1 minute, you flaming 1 minute, then you know what I'm saying, your popularity wanes. Then it comes, the ups and downs and the psychological situation with dealing with that and being able to come back and last.
Well, I mean, it's like, I guess, one of the first things is understanding what you want, Do you want to be an artist? Do you want to be a celebrity? If you want to be a celebrity, then you know you want to try to keep and maintain your popularity. If you want to be an artist, it may not bother you that much that you're not the center of attraction, because you still get to do and perform your art form. You know, so it's really a matter of what you really want to do. Now, with this music business, it's not like, back in the 70s where there were like, a handful of artists, or even with hip hop in the 80s, same thing, very few artists, now there's like a million artists, damn near everybody's an artist.
Let them tell it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, right now it's a matter of, understanding, how to build your core fan base. Your core fan base that really believe in you, support you regardless. That type of situation where, like, if you know that you have die-hard 2 million fans, then you know that you guaranteed to sell at least 500,000 streams or whatever. How you put your product out. What I mean? But it's like, I feel like something like that is what you build by a personal relationship with your fan base. I think that when when there's something that's trendy going on, if you're just following the trend, then you're part of this whole package. You're part of this whole thing where it's like, I like him. Well, better yet, I like this song from him, this song from him, this song from her, this song from them. And it's like, you're just really just part of this thing. But it's like when you separate yourself and you have this unique individuality, like Flavor Flav with the clock, LL with the Kango, me with the flat top, Salt and Pepper with the 8-ball jackets, and the spandex. There's something that was unique that made people want to dress like them, look like them, talk like them, and back in the days want to have their posters or their pictures from Right On magazine hanging on their wall. And now with this younger generation, where like your Lil Wayne's, and you look at Lil Wayne look like a rock star. He has an image. The Migos, they be fly as hell. They be dripped. These dudes be looking real fly. So with the younger generation type of thing, where okay, these are the people that I want to have as my screensaver. They don't really do this stuff on the wall no more. Now it's the screensaver on your iPad or your phone. But you want it to be where it's that type of thing.
Now, Kane, the verses you did with KRS, man, I never watched none of them, or I might have caught clips of all the other ones, but that one, and it may be because y'all my era, I watched the whole thing, man, cover to cover. Dope shit, man. Dope shit, man. How was that, man?
It was fun. The Versuz was a whole lot of fun because, prior to, me and Chris had talked about it, and we said what we wanted to do. We said we wanted to make it a real hip-hop event where, we're going to give them the jams that they want to hear, but at the same time, we're going to do some freestyles, let them hear some real bars. We're going to bring the B-boys out, showcase breaking, another element in hip-hop, let Kid Capri and DJ Scratch get their thing off the turntables to show DJ element. So we wanted to try to incorporate as many elements of hip-hop that we could in that one night, And I think it came off very well.
Yeah, man, classic, man, classic. Okay, now, DJ Academics, this is what's trending lately, right? He, and I'm gonna speak for me. This is Sean G talking. This is me, and anybody want to say something to me, you can get in touch with me, and I'll repeat what I said. He said that.
Before you say that, let me just say this real quick. When you see a train moving and it's riding, the train stops when it has a platform to stop. If you don't give that train a platform, it just keeps on going. And with that being said, you know, some things ain't even worth talking about. You know, sometimes you just don't give it a platform and let it go, instead of giving someone an opportunity to build on something and try to discredit the greatness of others. So for me, you know, that shit ain't even worth talking about, man. You know, in all honesty.
My man. Kane, man, I want to thank you, man, for letting me get this interview. What you got going on? Let the people know where they can find you, your website, your Instagram, what shows you got coming up, you know, how they can stay in touch.
Well, you know, you can follow me on social media, official Big Daddy Kane. And if you're looking for any concert updates or tour information, that's BigDaddyKane.com. Be sure to catch me on the upcoming season of Partners in Rhyme with MC Light. I'm on an episode there, and the Equalizer with Queen Latifah, season 3. Be sure to catch me there as well.
What about the thing you doing with Tretch and is it New Jack City?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and also the upcoming play for New Jack City.
Check them out, y'all.
Upcoming play for New Jack City featuring myself, Tretch, Flex Alexander, and Alan Payne.
Where's that gonna be at?
That's all over. The New Jack City tour is all over. It's going state to state. So hopefully it's coming to you. If not, you know, check out the dates and maybe you can make it to somewhere, a city near you or something.
My man, Kane, appreciate you, kid.
You got it.
Peace.